Hello, good morning. Welcome to day 10 of our readings of the School of Jesus Crucified here on Avoiding Babylon. So today is day 10 of the readings, day 7 of our actual meditations from the book here. If you're joining us for the first time, the first 3 days were just kind of an introduction. You had an address to the reader from the author. The author of the book is Father Ignatius of the Side of Jesus. He was a Passionist priest. Day 2 was a practical method of life, basically, for a Christian. And day 3 was a practical method of doing these meditations. Day 3 has some prayers that might be helpful to say before the meditation here. Um, not that you have to say any prayers beforehand, but it could help you get in a prayerful meditative mindset. So feel free to go listen, listen or watch that. As you listen to the meditation, feel free to pause. Rewind and replay it. Multiple times if you need to get the most out of it. But so yesterday's meditation was Jesus being taken and bound by the soldiers. Today's meditation is Jesus is led before the Tribunal of Annas. So we are going to get into it here like I always do. I'm going to throw an image up on the screen. You don't have to watch the video. Nothing will be going on. It'll just be a static image so that you can just listen and concentrate on what's being said. I am doing this live during, well, not live. I record and then stream it, but I am doing this during Lent of 2023. They don't have to be watched during Lent. They are useful at any and all times. But if you are watching these videos as they come out during Lent of 2023, then day 10 here means that we're almost a quarter of the way through Lent. We'll be more than a quarter of the way through Lent by Monday. So stay strong and keep up with the fasting, penance, and abstinence. So, okay. Let me throw up the image here. And we'll get going. If I have a hard time reading, I apologize. I usually record these the night before they're released. However, I fell asleep at 7 o'clock last night putting down my 4-year-old for bed, fell asleep next to him, and slept about 11 hours. So I'm a little out of it right now, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. So day 10, day 7 of the meditations themselves, Jesus is led before the Tribunal of Annas. Meditation 1. Jesus, being taken and bound by the Jews, is violently dragged from the garden to Jerusalem to be presented before the Tribunal of Annas, the high priest. Never has any culprit, or even any notorious malefactor, been treated with such barbarous cruelty as is the most innocent Son of God upon this occasion. One man drags him forward, another smites, another insults, another blasphemes, another maltreats his sacred person in diverse ways. And what is the demeanor of Jesus under such an accumulation of outrages and sufferings? Without uttering one word of complaint, without making the slightest demonstration of anger or desire of revenge, he advances like a meek lamb led to the slaughter. Jesus, with one single word, might have struck terror into his enemies, and yet he submits to everything in patient silence. He might in one moment have delivered himself from their fury, and yet willingly subjects himself to it, and regards all their insults and outrages as so many outbursts of the anger of God punishing the sins of the world in his sacred humanity, and he implores mercy for us, offering them all to his eternal Father. Behold our blessed Jesus walking in the midst of this insolent band of soldiers, his head bowed down, his eyes bent on the ground, his hands bound, his face disfigured with blows, his whole frame exhausted in trembling, and with scarcely the strength to proceed further. Can it be possible that a Christian with such spectacle before his eyes should continue to be proud, should give way to anger, should be unable to preserve a moment's silence under affronts, or be unwilling to bear the slightest injury? Ah, shame! Shame upon your own self, for you have truly deserved all the outrages and affronts which are heaped upon your innocent Jesus. Meditation 2. As soon as the Jews arrive at Jerusalem, they conduct Jesus to the house of Annas, enter the great hall without delay, and present the Holy of Holies before the high priest as a malefactor. Jesus remains standing, bound like a criminal, before his proud judge, who examines him concerning his disciples and his doctrine. What a sight to behold! The Son of God, the eternal high priest, the universal judge of all mankind, presented before an earthly tribunal to be judged by a sinful, proud, hypocritical man. What must the angels have thought on beholding their Lord in a state of such deep humiliation? But what do you say to so wonderful an example of humility and patience? You who seek applause in the esteem of men, you who cannot endure to see an equal preferred before you, you who so greatly fear the judgments of men, and who, although but a sinner, yet shriek from being thought such, observe your most patient Jesus standing before the tribunal of Annas, in which with what serenity of countenance, intrepidity of heart, and modesty of speech, he who is innocence itself submits to be judged by a sinner. Oh, what will your fate what will be your fate when you shall appear before Jesus Christ, your judge, and be convicted of having so little profited by his example, and having led a life directly in opposition to his teaching? Meditation 3. Consider how painful it must be to Jesus to behold his character defamed, while his disciples utter not a word in his defense. He looks round to see whether there are any of his friends or followers to interest themselves in his behalf. But there's not one man to come forward in his defense. Every day do not you also inflict this wound anew upon his divine heart, when you remain cold and insensible, and take no pains to defend the honor of God attacked by sinners, or the sanctity of religion blasphemed by the impious? Our most afflicted Redeemer beholds also brought forward a number of false witnesses, who by their accusations conspire to hasten his condemnation. By the slightest bit of his omnipotence, he might have silenced all these wretches, who have been formerly the witnesses of his miracles, or benefited by his loving charity. But Jesus is silent, and endures their execrable ingratitude with indescribable patience. How long has Jesus patiently borne with you, who, after having received so many benefits from his liberal hand, never cease most ungratefully to offend and outrage him? Ah, my sweet Savior, grant through thy great mercy that I may from this moment cease to be ungrateful to thy love. The fruit. God is greatly glorified when we humbly accept those mortifications and humiliations which daily fall to our lot. Reflect on what may happen to you in particular, and resolve that such shall be your conduct. Fear not the judgments of men, and far less allow yourselves to be persuaded to neglect virtuous actions and works of piety for fear of what the world may say. Love to be considered imperfect, and to appear a sinner before men, but strive with all the energy of your soul not to be such before God. Example. The remembrance of the sufferings of Jesus inspires a man with long enduring patience under injuries. It once happened that St. Paul of the Cross was making a voyage in the same ship with some individuals who, forgetting the sanctity of their character, seasoned their discourse rather freely with indecent expressions. The good father mildly reproved them, and sought in the most charitable manner to bring them to a sense of their fault. But they, burning with anger against their benefactor, overwhelmed him with such a torrent of abuse and scornful words as to horrify all who listened to them. The humble servant of God, calling to mind the outrages offered to Jesus in his passion, remained perfectly silent, without being in the slightest degree discomposed, and with the most serene and peaceful expression of countenance. Are you desirous of gaining a similar victory over yourself? Adopt the same means. And that is it for the meditation today. Tomorrow, let's see. Well, today's Saturday. So we are taking Sundays off because there are, including Sundays, 46 total days in Lent. But I don't think I'd be able to make this book stretch those 46 days. So we're going to take Sundays off and try to have these readings stretch further. So there will not be any video available tomorrow. It will be, the next one will be available on Monday, and that will be day 8 of meditation, day 11 overall, and that is Jesus receives a blow. I just realized if today is day 10, it's actually not day 10 of Lent because we skipped last Sunday. So it would be day 11 of Lent today. So we are just about a quarter of the way through. So keep it up. This video will be live on YouTube. It is 6 a.m. now. It'll be live on YouTube at 7. And then I'm also throwing it up on Spiritus TV. So make sure to check us out there if you haven't. If you don't know, Spiritus TV is basically like Catholic YouTube. It is being kept strictly Catholic. The managers, the people behind Spiritus review every creator before they are allowed to upload. So that way they are keeping it like strictly, authentically Catholic. The ads will eventually be on the videos, but they will be, wholesome like ads for like Catholic companies. So overall, we'd really love to move as much as possible of our videos to Spiritus. Eventually they'll have live streaming, live chat, all of that, similar to YouTube. So in the meantime, this video will be live on YouTube, but it will be uploaded to Spiritus as all of our videos. I'll also put it up on Rumble. We're over there on Rumble, so check us out there. And then it will be available on all the different audio podcast apps. So check us out on all of them. Please subscribe. Please like the video or podcast wherever you listen to it, and share it with everyone that you can think of, because I don't think there's a single person out there that cannot benefit from meditating on the Passion. So anyways, thank you once again. We will be taking tomorrow off, so I will see you all again Monday morning. Thank you, and God bless.